They'll come out throwing here on first down.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And he's going to have another first down here as he's able to dive beyond the marker. 12 yards there as they move the chains. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First carry for Raheem Mostert.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The Dolphins had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Coming to you. Coming to you. Undercrush. Undercrush. Undercrush.
Back to the running game with Mostert.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
2nd and 9 now. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Christian Harris. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
second down and a run by Robinson.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on third and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
Jerome Baker. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly. But that time, it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here's Hurts to throw. Throw over the middle, caught by Jordan. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Fourth down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. 2nd and 4. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Harris.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Looking deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Houston.
Isaiah McKenzie, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Texans 14, Dolphins nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion to prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw.
And yet again, it's Howard with a catch.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
22, 22, 65, 65, 65. Mike 22, he's coming, 22's coming, Mike. Go, go, go.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They'll try and run here with Mostert.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Mark 22, Mark 22. 19 tight, 19 tight. 22's coming, 22's coming, Mark.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1, eluding the pressure right. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
And the Texans are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Juan Thornhill.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
1 second, all that remains.
Sliding out of the pocket. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. In motion, Hill. Third quarter starts with a run from Mostert. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Here we go. 18 card me. 18 card me. Let's go.
Now it's Hines. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 51 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here's Hines. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Defense, keep it up, guys. Like 22, he's coming, 22.
Back to throw here.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Like 22, he's coming, 22's coming.
They'll look to throw here.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Back to throw again. And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And my goodness, another interception.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the Dolphins' 48.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. This is Hines. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
69 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Throwing is Hurts.
They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's got room.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Nyheim Hines,
his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense, and it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Dolphins 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 more there and another first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Mostert, toss left side. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll set up a throw. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
2nd and 11.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert, and they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this one is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Switch it.
They'll try it now with Mostert.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Remember, that was fourth and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
You got three down. Check. Fresno. 18 Cardinal.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And Hill with it over the middle.
And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. In motion, Hill.
Here's Mostert.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown.
Raheem Mostert,
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
and the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They today, So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Houston, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.